What is going on, everybody? When Armored Core 6 released, I completely fell in love with this mech action game. It has very solid action component, which is not surprising considering it is a From Software game. Build system is diverse and fun, and replayability is awesome. So naturally I went for Platinum Trophy, and the hardest one along the way is the Perfect Mercenary. It requires you to replay all missions in the game, including alternative ones, and achieve S rank in those. This is going to be a 6-part video guide on how to achieve S rank in all missions. In this particular video, I will talk about what parameters are contributing to the ranking, and will give some general advice on builds and strategies. In the following 5 videos, I will talk about strategies for individual missions, splitting those by chapters. So without further ado, let's get into it. First of all, prerequisites. Missions are available for ranked replay only after they are completed in story mode at least once. That means you need to unlock all 3 endings to have all missions unlocked. Even more so, sometimes the game gives you a choice between different missions. However, this choice does not impact the ending, so make sure as you are doing your playthroughs, you are choosing different missions all the time. Otherwise, the mission won't be available for replay and you will have to start another playthrough to unlock it. I would highly recommend tackling S ranking missions after you unlock all of them. There are a few reasons for this. First, you will get a lot of gear available, so you will have better build variety at your disposal. Second, you want to unlock all endings for achievement anyway, so it's better to go through those missions first without the pressure of getting ranked and enjoy the game. Now, to the parameters contributing to your rank. There are multiple parameters affecting it. However, the weight of those parameters may vary from mission to mission. I will give you rough guidance in this video, but if you don't want to figure out on your own what matters for what mission, you can watch my next videos where I give a more detailed breakdown. First, and the most important, is penalties for restarting from a checkpoint. This is the same across all missions, and this is fairly simple. If you click restart from checkpoint, either from menu or after death, you are not getting an S rank. Full stop. Don't use this option. If you're not doing well and feel like you won't be able to get S rank, or you just die, just restart the mission. Next parameter is your repair expenses. Read it, the more damage you take, the more you are penalized, the less chances to get S rank. Now, this parameter doesn't affect all missions the same way. Some missions are extremely sensitive to it and you must be very clean in your playthrough. Some may value other parameters more, but if you take too much damage, it still can screw your rank. Few missions are kinda don't care about your repair costs at all. Naturally, if I'm not getting S rank, I'm trying to play cleaner and reduce repair costs. However, if you significantly reduced your repair cost but rank didn't improve, maybe you need to look into improving other parameters. Ammo expenses. In general, this parameter of your run has way less value than repair expenses. However, in most of the missions, you can't really just put on the weapons with super high ammo cost and shoot like no one is watching. What I'm trying to say, don't worry about this parameter too much as you play, but try to choose cost-effective weapons for your build. I will cover the build I used a little bit later in this video. Next parameter you will be ranked on is timing. There are only a few missions that are extremely sensitive to timing, but general advice is try not to waste your time on sightseeing. You kinda had to appreciate the view on your first 3 playthroughs. Planning your route helps a lot. Everything else impacting your rank I will gather under the hood of special condition. There are some parameters that are impacting only specific missions. Some of those are more obvious, some are more generic. For example, the mission where you defend the Asylum Tower. Conventional logic says that the amount of health Tower has left will impact your ranking. And it is. You need to keep shields up to get the sweet S rank. On the other hand, there are missions like helicopters that extract prisoners. Yes, the helicopter health still has a lot of say in the final rank, but also there is a tetrapod mech with combat log out of the way. Killing it grants you a lot of points, and achieving S rank without it is nearly impossible, if possible at all. Here are the things that you want to watch out for if you're struggling to get S rank and suspect there are some extra points for grabs. Combat log carriers, elite enemies, additional objectives of the missions, like when you getting extra money for enemies killed or for those gas tanks, and main objective, for example, health of something you need to defend. If you don't want to figure this one out on your own, you can find all of those in my other videos where I go over all the missions in more details. So, those are the most valuable factors of what impacts your mission. Now to how to achieve the levels you need for S rank. Many will say that the primary focus should be on building the right mech or on getting your technical skills to the right level. While both of those are very important, I think what is often overlooked is the route you take during the mission. It is not applicable for all of the missions. Some missions are plain boss fights in a small arena, but it is applicable for the most of them. Finding and memorizing the right route for the mission in many cases could be the key to success. Feeling that you are too slow? Try to find a faster route. Feeling that you are not very good on repair expenses? Find a safer route. Missing points for elite enemies? Make route pass through them. At the end of the day, route, strategy, and positioning has a very high influence on your success chances and can make the job of getting S rank either trivial or horrendously hard. So watch out for this one. Okay, I guess many of you have been waiting for this part. What is the best build in the game? The reality is, I'm not sure. I'm going to share with you a build that I created and it worked for me really well. However, I am certain this is not the only build that can get you through the game and allow you to achieve S ranks in every mission. Let's start from weapons. For hand weapons, I always use two ZIMMERMAN shotguns. They are not very heavy, they are powerful enough to one-shot most trash enemies. They build up stun on elites and bosses really fast, and the ammo for those is dirty cheap. Those shotguns allow you to be extremely ammo effective, what is important for S rank. As small bonus, those are available pretty early in the game. The only downside is low effectiveness in the long range. I can't recommend those shotguns enough. What I would not recommend is to use the very popular duo machine gun setup. I know it is a very popular build and it makes initial playthrough pretty easy, but those things are just throwing your money out of the window. On top of that, those are pretty heavy, so you will have to use heavier and less mobile mech. For the right shoulder, I always use SONGBIRDS. I mean, those are probably one of the best shoulder weapons in the game, great impact, great damage, fairly fast recovery, and also quite low EN load. For some missions I wished I could swap those for higher damage long range weapons, but I simply could not because of the EN load of my mech, and I was too lazy to find work around it. It's important to note that the ammo cost for SONGBIRDS is quite high, so try not to overuse it. For the left shoulder, by default I use close combat weapon. Of course, to do so you need a weapon bay upgrade. Ammo expenses may impact your rank, and well, no ammo equals no expenses. Also, it is a very potent combo with dual shotguns. You stun the boss, you swap left shotgun to close combat weapon and unleash massive damage on it. My favorite close combat weapon choices are Laser Dagger VP67LD for its very lightweight and quick recovery, and Laser Slicer VVC774LS for its very high damage, but you can choose the one you like more. For some missions, I swap close combat weapons to another Songbird because close combat weapon might feel irrelevant for different reasons, but by default it is always close combat weapon on the left shoulder. For the FCS, I'm simply using Balam's FC008 because it benefits my close and mid-range playstyle. As for body parts, I found it not as important. I used whatever could accommodate all the weapons above and to strike a good balance between AP and speed. The only part worth mentioning is legs. I ended up with regular bipedal legs as a fairly mobile, well-rounded option. However, in few missions, it was very beneficial to swap those to tetrapod legs for their flying ability. This is it about the build. I will leave a full list of parts in the description in case you want to replicate it or use it as the baseline. Armored Core 6 is an action mech game, so I could not leave you without a few tips and tricks that may help you improve your gameplay. First of all, energy management. This is an essential skill in the Armored Core 6. There is nothing more dangerous than ending up high in mid-air without energy. Energy recovery rate off the ground is tremendously slow, so the only thing you can do is to fall. But if you still mismanaged it and ended up in such an unlucky situation, try to leave your left stick untouched or whatever you use on a keyboard to move, and to fall straight down. When you fall straight down, you are falling faster compared to dragging to the side, so you will be able to reach the ground and recover energy much sooner. Use Kick. Kick is an absolutely amazing tool. It deals very solid damage to stunned enemies. By the way, this damage depends on the weight of your mag. Heavier mags deals higher damage with kicks. It is great to use in the gaps when your weapons are recharging or just to save some ammo. But also, Kick helps you to keep your mech in mid-air. Even more so, Kick is the most effective way to keep your mech in mid-air, which is very helpful when you're fighting flying enemies like the Sea Spider, or when you need to reach some objective really far away and you don't have enough energy to boost there. Boost canceling. As pretty much any other action game, Armored Core has some canceling techniques. I'm not going to go into deep intricacies of it, but in short, you can use thrust to cancel some unwanted animations. For example, my favorite CC weapon has very long animation, and sometimes I don't want to actually execute it because my target has recovered and I know it won't connect. If I proceed with this animation, I'm going to be stuck in it and be very vulnerable for nothing. But if you're still on melee thrust, so like moving towards a target, Boost is actually capable of cancelling it. Use your explosive weapons from mid-air or when the enemy is against the wall. Explosive weapons are very powerful and do not require a lot of EN capacity. However, projectiles are slow and don't have a lot of tracking, making it very easy to miss your target. Not from mid-air though. If your target is landed on the ground, using an explosive weapon from mid-air will create an explosion on impact with the ground, meaning if the target moved and your projectile missed, it will very likely be hit by the explosion. Works similar if target is positioned next to a wall. There are many more tips I wanted to give you, but I think it will be easier to demonstrate the value of those in the specific missions, so I will leave those for next videos. This is it for today. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.